Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind. We've got RPI reactions, our reactions to the RPI, which came out Monday morning, the first version of the RPI in every classification for football. Jeff Hansen, Dane Stewart here. Excited to talk through the latest. My goodness, Jeff. We got some stuff to talk about. 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. Some crazy initial RPI rankings coming out.
RPI, I've yet to figure it out. You know, I still have every week it comes out and I still scratch my head a little bit. I don't know how many, what are we, 5-6 years into this now? And I still kind of scratch my head sometimes, but it's fun. And, you know, and ultimately get everybody into the playoffs and we'll figure it out on the field anyways, right? But the RPI ranking, this week's wild. There's no question about it.
It is wild. Let's dive right in. We're going to start with let's start with 6A, shall we?
Okay.
Look, happenings this week. Lone Peak goes on the road to California. They lose to Centennial of California. So their first loss of the year. They beaten Corner Canyon. But Corner Canyon had beaten IMG. Of course, both of those out of states, they're the same point equality when it all comes to it. Let's talk about your top five. Number 5, the Layton Lancers. My goodness, this has to be the highest they've ever been ranked in the RPI era. I don't know that. I'm just presuming, but I don't recall them being higher than that. Number 4, the Davis Darts. Number 3, the aforementioned Lone Peak Knights. Corner Canyon at number 2, and Lehigh, the last undefeated team in 6A, coming in at number 1. Jeff, crazy top 5 here. No?
It is, right? I mean, you could argue 1, 2, 3, 4, who's 1, who's 3. I think the teams, maybe throw in Skyridge into the mix. Those are the right teams. Layton, good for Layton. I don't know if it sticks. I don't know how long they last. But, man, put it on a banner. I love it right now. They've had a great start to the season. It's cool to see them get a little nod right now.
It's awesome to see them get a little, tip of the cap coming in top 5. It's not a place they've been very often. Talk about a team starting 4-1, come from behind victories. Like, I love that they've had this kind of a start. Can they hold on to it in region play? We hope so, right? Like, it's great to see teams have not had a lot of success, have early success. And speaking of that, we're not going to go through all the rankings. You go catch them up online. But you want to talk about teams that haven't had a lot of success? Copper Hills at 3-2, ranked at 13th, above the likes of Mountain Ridge, Bingham, PG, Harriman. Copper Hills, great start for the Grizzlies this year as well.
Yeah, no question. There's some teams that I think are using this week's rankings. It's a little motivation. Skyridge, I'm sure they feel disrespected coming in at number 7, a team like AF at number 11. So there's some teams that I think are going to use this as some bulletin board material in their locker rooms, try to take out Davis and Layton and those guys in the top 5.
And let me just add this one note that I think is interesting. Remember, Farmington got their first win of the year this last week, defeating Mountain Ridge. They're 1-4. Farmington comes in at number 10. For a lot of people who don't like the RPI, and plenty of people probably won't like that, they're ranked ahead of American Fork. The thing the RPI is trying to do is take into account the teams in which you play. And when you look at Farmington, they have a combination of opponents, and opponents is the toughest that there is in 6A. So that combination doing great favorites for Farmington coming in at number 10. Their opponent's winning percentage is 800. So look, they're being credited for playing very difficult teams, even though they haven't gotten wins from those teams. So wanted to point that out. Again, whether you like it or not, it is trying to do some evenness in terms of, they played a harder schedule, so we're not going to penalize them for losing against that schedule.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be, right? You should challenge yourself. So it's always interesting how the math works at the end of the day. But I do like the intent of, don't schedule down, schedule up, push yourself. It's better for everybody.
Yes. All right, let's move to 5A. Now this one, Jeff, I don't even know what to do with 5A. This one is, it's like someone forgot to carry the 6. Let's just dive into it. Number 5, the Brighton Bengals. Okay. Number 4, Viewmont. All right. Number 3, Maple Mountain. Number 2, Roy. Number 1, Northridge. Notice in that listing, we didn't talk about Orem, Bountiful, or Timpview. They're not in the top 5 in 5A. I'm just like, I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
No, you go through those top 5 and you just keep, okay, well, you're running out of space, Dane. You can't get to 3 and not have Orem or Timpview. You're running out of spots for them to go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those that's where I scratch my head and I don't really get how it works. I don't know how you can look at Orem and how you look at Timpview or Bountiful and say, no, like, hey, that's the 7, what are they, 7, 8, and 9? That's pretty wild. But good for the teams that are there. I think it's cool to reward teams like Northridge and Roy that are still undefeated. Look, I mean, they maybe aren't playing as tough of a slate, but you can only play the teams that are on your calendar, and they're winning, and they're blowing teams out. I don't have a problem with anybody who's in the top 5, but it is a little bit surprising to see some of those teams that are not in the top 5.
And I'll just clarify, Jeff. I love seeing Northridge number 1. I love seeing Roy at number 2. Maple Mountain, awesome. I have big expectations for that program this year. But to not see Orem or Timpview is just like, I mean, Orem's undefeated too, right? Now, you look at their opponent's winning percentage, it's not great. And that's where they get dinged in this. Only a 300 opponents winning percentage. That hurts them when it comes to the math. But man, I mean, that's one where I'm just like, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. And I love seeing Northridge there. I love seeing Roy there. But man, that was just one that I had a double take.
Yeah, it is. It's tricky. And it's we just talked about, 6A and Farmington, how the math rewards them for scheduling up. Well, Orem goes and beats Farmington, and the math punishes them a little bit because Orem. So there's some funny, fuzzy math in there. I have a feeling that kind of regulates as the season goes on. But I can tell you right now, nobody wants to play 9-seeded Timpview in the playoffs. That would be unfortunate.
You could have a Timpview Bountiful second round. If the playoffs start today, Timpview Bountiful, and then the winner would play top-ranked Northridge.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it's played out.
Some reward, Northridge. Congratulations, guys. I'm sorry. That's rough. A couple ones I thought were interesting. West coming in at 14. I think that is low. I think that team is better than 14. Alta coming in at 22. That's going to be rough for whoever would have to play Alta early on. They're better than 22. And East at number 6. That's a really good East team. We've seen them a couple times, Jeff. Watch out for East. That's a team I think is going to be tough as the season plays on.
And Clearfield at 26. There's 27 teams ranked. Clearfield is 26. That's great for the Falcons.
No, Jeff, they're underseeded, man. Come on. I mean, we both know they're under 26, right?
They don't. They should. But no, I mean, good for Clearfield. There was a long week stretch that they were in the bottom over the last few years. Cool to see the Falcons. They're making their way up. That's progress. You take it when it's there.
I'll tell you, very competitive in the Juffy Bowl. Very competitive in the Juffy Bowl this year. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go to 4A, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, number 5, Skyview. Number 4, Green Canyon. Number 3, Park City. Number 2, Spanish Fork. And top-ranked, no surprise, Ridgeline.
I mean, for me, not really too surprising. No real big qualms about that. We've talked about Crimson Cliffs. Yeah, they sputtered a little bit to start off. I think that they're going to climb up these rankings, but not surprising to not have them in the top 5. Maybe the only team that I was a little bit surprised at, but not really that. You could make an argument that maybe Mountain Crest should be a little bit higher. They were, I think, at 9. But really, I think 4A, pretty much what most would have expected. You maybe quibble about a flip 3 and 4 or something like that, but I think that it's pretty well what you would have expected it to be.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I thought 4A pretty much where I would have thought. So, all right, let's head to 3A. We'll go through these very quickly. Number 5, I know you love Ogden this year, still undefeated 4-0. Richfield at number 4, Manti at number 3, Morgan coming in at 2. What the? And Grantsville, your top-ranked team in 3A.
I mean, the surprise is obvious, right? You have Richfield and you have Morgan, and they are not number 1. Neither one of those teams is number 1. Grantsville's been great. we haven't talked enough about Grantsville. I think you and I think we've overlooked Grantsville. I think that's completely fair.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
Morgan and Richfield have looked like juggernauts. And then Ogden. Look, 4-0 Ogden is great. They might be number 5 in the rankings, but they're number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, I feel like this is right where Morgan likes to be, right? They're you always got that little bulletin board material for the Trojans, but I was surprised. Richfield 4, that one stunned me a little bit.
Surprising. Yeah.
All right, let's go to 2A. In 2A, Layton Christian Academy coming in at number 5, South Sevier at number 4, American Leadership Academy at number 3, the San Juan Broncos at number 2, and Dusty, plug your ears, the Emory Spartans coming in at number 1 in 2A.
Yeah, no Dusty wants to hear about Emory being at number 1.
Yeah.
Little surprising not to see San Juan at number 1. That's just not something that I'm super familiar with.
Yeah.
San Juan feels like they're a fixture up there at the top spot.
Well, they still are. This is where the math comes into play. Emory having a stronger opponents winning percentage and opponents gives them the edge in the math. How about ALA? Man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And LCA first year in 2A, I believe. I think they were 1A last year. Maybe they were 2A. LCA coming in just at 5. Interesting. South Sevier, good on the Rams. Nice start to the year for them. All right, let's head to 1A. Our final classification we'll review here. Number 5, Millard. Number 4, Kanab. Number 3, the Milford Men. Number 2, Beaver. And number 1, North Summit.
I mean, you can't argue with 1 and 2. North Summit and Beaver, it seems like they are on a crash course to compete for a state championship here in a few weeks.
I like Milford too. What was that, Jeff?
I said a few weeks. I don't want to cut the season shorter than we have to. In a couple of months, they're competing for a state championship.
There you go. Yeah, we got a long way to go. I like Milford too. With Sosi, they've got another Barnes there. I like the Milford man. Got a soft spot in my heart for the Tigers. But yeah, to me, it feels like it's North Summit and Beaver. That'd be a heck of a matchup if we got it. I hope we do. That'd be thrilling. Duchesne not in the top 5. That's a program you always got to watch in 1A. But I agree. North Summit, Beaver, those two seemingly on a crash course in 1A. All right, RPI's out. You can go check it out on uhsaa.org. And, of course, it gets released or it gets updated every Friday night as games come to a conclusion. So you can check out late Friday, early Saturday, see where your favorite team is at in your respective classification. We will talk RPI and keep you updated on rankings, potential playoff seedings, and whatnot as the year progresses. All right, Jeff, RPI, first one's out, and we'll see how the year goes after this. Thanks for joining us, Jeff Hansen, Vince Francis. My name is Dane Stewart for the KSL Sports Rewind RPI Breakdown.